Imagine this. You're tasked with building a futuristic city designed for nearly 30 million visitors. The catch? You have to build it on a giant garbage pile floating in Osaka Bay. Sounds like the setup for a bad sitcom, right? But instead, it became the real-life setting for Expo 2025, one of the boldest and quirkiest engineering projects in human history. From garbage to Dream Island. Yumeshima, literally Dream Island, wasn't exactly a dream at first. Back in the 1970s, Osaka didn't envision a glowing hub of innovation. Nope, they just needed a place to dump mountains of construction debris, sand, and city waste. Over the decades, this junk buffet expanded into nearly 390 hectares of land. For years, it functioned as a container port. Practical, but about as glamorous as a damp sock. Underneath, though, lurked a problem the size of Godzilla. The island was basically loose sludge mixed with seawater. And in a country famous for earthquakes, the risk of the ground literally turning to liquid was about as appealing as building a skyscraper on Jell-O. So why choose this ticking time bomb for the Expo? Simple, politics and opportunity. By winning the Expo 2025 bid, Osaka could fast-track development, fix its garbage island problem, and gain global attention. But first, engineers had to convince the Earth itself not to collapse under their feet. Battling the ground beneath. Step 1 in taming the beast. Reinforce the very seabed. Engineers spread a 1.5-meter thick layer of sand like a giant undermattress. This sand blanket helped drain excess water out of the soggy clay layers below. Then came the sand drain method. Picture millions of giant straws jammed into the ground, letting trapped water escape. Normally, this settling would take decades. Japan doesn't have that kind of patience. For the wobbly upper layers, they deployed the sand compaction pile method. This involved pounding vibrating probes into the ground to shake the loose sand into a denser, tougher structure. Kind of like shaking a bag of chips to make room for more. Still not enough? They whipped out the deep soil mixing method, essentially a massive egg beater that churned cement into the soft soil, creating underground columns stronger than steel rebar. Finally, the entire site was raised over 5 meters above sea level, because if earthquakes didn't get it, a tsunami might try. With this invisible underground war won, Osaka could finally build its showpiece. The Grand Ring, a wooden wonder. At the heart of Expo 2025 stands the Grand Ring, officially the largest wooden building on Earth. Its stats are absurd. A 2-kilometer circumference, about the same as Monaco's borders, 20 meters tall, and covering 60,000 square meters, basically 6 rugby fields stitched together. But what makes it truly jaw-dropping is how it was built. Engineers ditched the usual steel and concrete aesthetic and instead looked back 1,000 years to Japan's temple-building techniques. They revived nuki joinery, an ancient method where beams are slotted through posts without a single nail or screw. Why? Because earthquakes hate rigidity. Instead of snapping, these joints wiggle and sway, absorbing seismic energy like a wooden yoga master. To appease modern safety codes, they secretly tucked in metal reinforcements, but the soul of the structure remains old school. The wood itself isn't your average Home Depot plank. It's glulam, layers of timber glued together to form massive beams strong enough to make a Viking jealous. About 70% of the material came from local cedar and cypress, boosting Japanese forestry while cutting down carbon emissions. The result? A massive, elegant ring that shields visitors from Osaka's temperamental weather and symbolizes the marriage of ancient wisdom and futuristic thinking. Pavilions that vanish. Inside the Grand Ring lies an even bolder experiment, designed for disassembly. Many Expo 2025 pavilions aren't meant to stay standing. Instead, they're designed to disappear, like magic tricks on an architectural stage. Take the Netherlands Pavilion. Instead of treating it like a permanent building, they considered it a temporary collection of materials. Every piece, steel beams, wall panels, even screws, comes with a digital passport tracking exactly what it's made of. When the expo ends, the whole thing can be dismantled and reused elsewhere. Think IKEA, but with more sustainability and fewer missing Allen wrenches. Luxembourg joined the trend too, using giant movable concrete blocks for foundations and bolted steel frames instead of welded ones. No jackhammers required to take it apart, just a good set of wrenches. Other countries went creative with recycling. Japan installed an on-site biogas plant to turn leftover restaurant food into electricity. The UAE introduced dataret, a concrete made from crushed date seeds. Singapore covered its pavilion in 17,000 aluminum discs, most of them recycled. This isn't just recycling, it's architecture with an expiration date, planned and celebrated. Lightweight marvels. The island's unstable ground forced architects to rethink how heavy a building could be. Cue the Blue Ocean Dome, designed by Shigeru Ban, Japan's rock star architect famous for using unconventional materials. The dome consists of 3 connected structures, one built from laminated bamboo, one from Ban's signature recycled cardboard tubes, and one from carbon fiber reinforced plastic, CFRP. CFRP is 5 times lighter than steel but equally strong, making it perfect for Yumeshima's shaky foundation. The domes are so featherweight they don't even need deep concrete supports. It's basically the engineering equivalent of packing light for a trip, except instead of avoiding overweight baggage fees, they're dodging catastrophic collapse. The price of a dream. Of course, building the future isn't cheap. The budget for Expo 2025 ballooned from its initial estimates to a whopping $1.6 billion. Critics argue it's a colossal waste of taxpayer money. After all, it's being built on a literal trash heap. To make matters worse, Japan's construction industry is stretched thin due to a shortage of skilled workers. Many international pavilions lagged months behind schedule, sparking fears that parts of the Expo would open fashionably late. But like any ambitious party planner, Osaka is determined to pull it off. After all, what's a global fair without a little drama? Temporary or timeless? Here's the twist. The Grand Ring, despite being designed as temporary, has already sparked debate about staying permanently. It wouldn't be the first temporary landmark to get a second life. The Eiffel Tower was built for the 1889 World's Fair and was supposed to be dismantled after 20 years. Today it's Paris's most famous icon. Could Osaka's wooden colossus follow the same fate? Possibly. After all, it's more than just an Expo centerpiece. It's a symbol of unity, a blueprint for sustainable construction, and proof that you can turn a garbage island into something worth bragging about. Lessons from a garbage island. Expo 2025 isn't just a showcase but a living experiment in future urban design, proving that trash can be transformed into treasure with the right engineering, that ancient wisdom often outperforms modern concrete, and that even temporary structures can serve as reusable material banks rather than waste. It demonstrates how bold dreams can stand on seemingly weak foundations if engineered thoughtfully, and perhaps most importantly, reminds us that if billions are to be spent, they should be invested not only in functionality, but also in style. And that's how Osaka turned a giant garbage island into one of the most ambitious engineering marvels on Earth. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the world's boldest projects, make sure to hit that like and smash subscribe. Thanks for watching, and remember, the future might just be built on yesterday's garbage.